Good afternoon, or good morning, actually, to my friends. This is Hey Coach. I've got some questions, the Ask Coach session, and I hope you're having an amazing day. So I'm going to go right into this. It's Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, and I've got a bunch of things I want to talk to you about, but I'm going to do this very quickly. Unfortunately, I'm just going to narrow it down to one thing because it's something that keeps coming back up, kind of just like a rash, like a bad penny, and it's vision. Why vision is so important, and why I keep bringing this back up. And I think it's important to share a story with you guys. So I had a conversation with my sister, and we were talking about, as many of you know, I live here in the Midwest, and I was having a conversation with her. She lives in New York, where I grew up, and I live here in Indiana in the Midwest, not very far from Chicago. So it was funny because we were having this conversation. Sorry, let me get my mic propped up here. We were having this conversation about pizza. And that was one of the few things I actually miss about living in New York and New York State. Certainly isn't because of my love of, laws and begging for your rights and everything out there. Certain as hell isn't for my love of taxes. But here in Indiana, we have it really good, and there's a lot of things that we do have well. But pizza sucks here, and that's one of the things we were talking about was, going and getting good pizza. And we talked about this. There's one place in New York that I like getting pizza from, and it's this place called Tony Baffa's. And Tony Baffa's is part in the old part of Middletown, and pretty much everything they have is good. And the guy's like, I don't even know, 1,000,000 years old, and he's there every day. I don't know how much English he speaks, probably not much. He doesn't speak much when he's there. He just kind of, I know he doesn't recognize me when he goes in there, but he always waves at me as if he knows me, right? Anyway, I tell you this story because as I'm describing, my sister and I were having this conversation, and I was describing one of the meals I was having there, and it reminded me of this other place here in the Midwest I go to. I haven't been there in years, but their pizza is absolutely amazing. Up in the Chicago area, it's called San Fratello's. San Fratello's pizza is absolutely epic. And I've had pizza all across the world, and their pizza is, I think, the best pizza I've ever had. And the thing is, it's not in New York, it's actually in Chicago. Now it's regular crust pizza. And I don't really care about eating at the place, and they've got multiple locations, but no matter where you go there for their pizza is amazing. So you go, and I always ordered the same thing. It was regular sausage, not Italian sausage. I don't like fennel seeds, but regular sausage and fontina cheese. Oh my God, that it just absolutely breaks your heart, and how good this is. Just how good the flavor is. There's just the right seasoning, and it's just amazing. When you walk in, you just know, and it's a big pizza, right? It's not like these dinky little pizzas. You get big pizza. So it made me think about this in terms of why people, when we talk about this, we talk about having a favorite meal at a favorite place. All of a sudden, right now, I'm hungry all of a sudden, right? Talking about how good that pizza is. And if I can relate that to your vision and your personal vision for your world, not your vision for your business, but your personal vision for what you're trying to accomplish, for why that's important to you, think about this for a second. Think about what me talking about that meal did in my brain. It activated something in my brain. It made something real for me in my brain, because now I'm thinking about, okay, what could I actually do to drive up there, order a pizza, and bring it back down, right? To bring it back down to Lafayette. I mean, it's no short trip. It's probably to San Fratello's a good hour and a half-ish, 2 hours, right? I would make the drive. And I'm sitting thinking about that. When it relates to your personal vision for your future, and you're building this vessel, right? You're building this business to bring you from here to there, right? The business is nothing more than just a vessel to get you from upriver to downriver, or if your vision is to get to the top of a mountain, right, you're going to get a billy goat, you're going to get a Hummer, you're going to get a Jeep, you're going to get something that's going to take you from the bottom of the mountain to the top of the mountain, right? You want to build the appropriate vessel, right? So if your vision, wherever that is, the more clear you can be about your vision, the more likely it is to happen, the more likely it is to come true, and the more important it is to you. So when you have your vision defined very, very well, it's like, thinking of that meal, or, thinking about maybe pizza isn't your thing. Maybe pancakes is your thing. And you like the way that you go to this certain restaurant where pancakes are amazing. And they make up this thing called, man cakes. Actually, that's a phrase I think I've coined, but man cakes are what I would do for the boys. I would take sausage, and I would crumble up the sausage into big chunks, and would cook them in chunks, and then I would mix the sausage in with pancake batter and then make the pancakes, right? I called those man cakes. Well, if I was to describe those to you, and how the fork goes through the pancakes and the butter is in between the layers of the pancakes and the syrup is dripping off and it's so hot, and you just take your fork and you're stabbing them into the pieces of the pancake, and as you're bringing them to your mouth, that decadent your explosion of flavor in your mouth of what that's like, and it all of a sudden activates things inside your brain. So what if, just imagine if your vision was so clear that, say your vision was to say, you know what, I want to spend 2 months laying on the beach, in Spain, and sipping Spanish wine and waking up at a certain hour, and right, like your vision is so incredibly clear that it's just like having those pancakes. It's just like having that slice of pizza. It's just like having that amazing cheeseburger at your favorite restaurant. Just imagine if your vision was that clear. That's why it's important. That's why I keep bringing this back up, because people, I think that they're saying, well, yeah, Mark, I've got goals. Yeah, goal setting. Right. Got that. Check the box. Okay, let's talk about business. Well, if you're going to skip over that part, I'm not saying you can't be successful, but you're not defining success in a meaningful way that's going to be related to life output. You're going to just create one goal and just chase another goal, and then create another goal and chase that goal. Vision is a little bit more tricky. I would say, and this is my truth, it doesn't necessarily have to be the truth for you, but this is my truth. The way I see it, I see vision is like the long-term objective. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be long time frame. It could be a month, right? But I see that as the long-term objective. And you'll have goals, which are the milestones along the way. So I used this analogy before in my training classes. In fact, I just had a training class over this past weekend, where I was explaining if we were traveling from, say, Michigan to Florida, and our vision was Florida, right? Our vision is to be sitting on a beach in Tampa, with a cold drink in our hand and a beach chair and a book and a blanket, and watching the seagulls and listening to the waves crash as the sun is starting to set. That's a vision, right? Our goals along the way would need to be goals that are in alignment with that vision. So if we're traveling from, say, somewhere in Michigan, and we are going down towards Florida, I would say Indianapolis might be a good goal for us towards our vision, right? Because Indianapolis is along the way. We're getting closer to our vision. Whereas if we started down that road and all of a sudden we said, hey, you know what? I've always wanted to visit North Dakota. Well, those of you who may be geographically challenged, North Dakota is not on the way to Florida. In fact, it's pretty much the opposite direction. So you're really going to say, okay, so as I make this decision, is going to North Dakota that important to me? Is it really that important? And you might say, yeah, what? Yeah, I've actually always wanted to go there. I really want to rewrite my vision. I really just, even if it's just for a day, I want to go to North Dakota, whatever, right? Well, if you are willing to do that and you're willing to sacrifice whatever time that is to go to North Dakota because that's an intermediate goal for you, then I could say, okay, fine, as long as you can justify that. So let's bring this into something real world. Whereas, okay, so you're wanting to go to Florida and you want to go to North Dakota along the way. Many people, they'll make decisions, especially in the real estate business, and because real estate is so highly distractible, all of a sudden one week I'm talking to them about wholesaling deals, and the next week they're talking about cryptocurrency, or they're talking about, buying or selling stocks, or they're getting into ATM investing or whatever else it is. Look, I don't care how you skin the cat. The point is, at the end of the day, is it in alignment with your vision for the future? I really don't care. Look, I'm a real estate guy. The real estate provided a lot of time wealth in my life, in my world, and part of my vision is to raise two good men. Some of you guys saw and commented on the photos that I posted of taking my sons to the range the other day, and they're safe. They always they know how to handle weapons, and that's part of something I want them to grow up knowing, being very comfortable around guns and not being afraid of them, and knowing how to responsibly use them, even if they don't end up being develop that as a hobby down the road. It doesn't matter. The point is, I want them to know certain life skills, and and that's important to me. So I have the freedom on my calendar to go and take them and go do that with them and pick them. And I get to pick them up from school, and I get to drop them off at school. And these are the important things to me, that real estate has allowed me to do that. Again, if real estate's not your bag, that's okay. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, once you get really clear about your vision for the future and the life output goals, then you can back into that with a business that's going to make the most sense for you. Because you may find that your risk tolerance and where you're at in life just doesn't make sense for you to get into a business that might not be the right vessel for you. Okay, does that make sense? All right. So thanks for watching this. I know I keep talking about vision, but again, the main thing on your vision is to write it down every morning, write it down every night. If you're having struggles, reach out to me. We can talk about maybe doing some vision coaching with you. But this is the thing. This is so incredibly important, because we get so wrapped up with goals, but it really, if you focus that and make that about your vision and the intermediate goals that are in alignment with that vision, then we can build a business that's in alignment with all of that and get you to your vision much, much faster. My name is Mark Dolfini, Landlord Coach. I hope you're having an amazing day. Please remember, there is no amount of money that will make time irrelevant. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you again very soon. See ya.